again, everybody. I know it's been a while since my last blog post, but I want to do one final video to wrap up sort of a reflections video of my time abroad and just do an overview of my experience as a whole. I know what you're thinking, why do it now? You haven't uploaded a video in over a month, but I just needed some time to really process the experience and think about what I got out of it. That, and I was incredibly lazy over break. So what did I take away from my semester in Europe? Was it the mind-blowing, incredible, life-altering experience everyone promises it will be? Well, in many ways it was, but it was also a lot of things I didn't expect. I learned to live on my own in a foreign country. I learned to grocery shop and actually cook my own food. I learned how to plan a trip and travel on my own. I learned how to navigate the metro systems of not just one, but 4 different European cities. And I became close to an amazing group of American students, and I made lifelong friends with my 2 Danish roommates, Christopher and Patrick. The truth is, Denmark really was the experience of a lifetime, and I feel so blessed to have had the opportunity to travel. The experience of making this blog also taught me a lot about myself. You'd be amazed how self-conscious and self-critical you can become when you're writing, editing, shooting, and narrating your own blog post, all about yourself and your own life. It got to the point where brainstorming new ideas for blog posts was literally like having an argument with myself about myself. I know, we can make a funny cat video. That's literally the worst idea I've ever heard. But eventually I realized that obsessing over how other people are going to view my videos, whether they would find them funny or be offended, it doesn't get me anywhere. And the experience of making this blog kind of taught me that in filming and in life, sometimes you just have to go for it. So to close out this video, I thought I'd give a little bit of practical advice for anybody looking to study abroad or anyone traveling in Europe in general. So here are my top do's and don'ts when traveling through Europe. Number 1, do rent a bike. I really can't overemphasize how happy I am that I rented a bike while I was in Denmark. I mean, granted, Denmark is the biking capital of the world, so it made it very easy to get around, so especially if you're in a Scandinavian country, rent a bike. But really, just about any European city, they offer bike rentals for up to a semester, and it's a great way to see the town. A 20-minute bike ride can get you pretty far, usually to a lot of places you wouldn't bother walking just because they're a little bit too far away, and it gets you out and about, it gets you meeting with locals and different things, and I had a blast using my bike to explore Copenhagen. Number 2, don't get ripped off. There are whole companies and systems and people in Europe who survive solely by separating dumb tourists from their money. So one big one to watch out for are cabs in Eastern Europe, and especially in Prague. They're notoriously crooked. I had the unfortunate experience of taking a 5-minute cab ride back from a club and he tried to charge me 40 American dollars. So, the best thing to do is keep an eye on the meter, and if it seems like it's rising a little fast, just ask him to pull over and cut your losses. But in general, just be smart, keep an eye on your money, make sure you know where your wallet or your purse is at all times, and if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Do immerse yourself in the culture. I know this one also sounds a little cliche and sort of a no-brainer, but when you're in a new environment, it can be really tempting to just stick to what's familiar. In your program, in your study abroad program, there's likely going to be other Americans doing it with you, and it's tempting to just hang out with them, go out to bars with them, get dinner with them. But I really encourage anyone traveling abroad to try and experience it with someone who knows it best. Try and do it with a local. Host families are great. I had a blast living with my 2 Danish roommates, and it's the best way to experience a new culture, doing it with someone who knows it best. Do set aside some money to do some additional traveling while you're in Europe. Skyscanner and Momondo.com are 2 great sites for finding cheap flights within Europe. You basically just put in the name of the country or the city where you want to go and the date, and it's pretty much as easy as that. There's also a lot of really great and affordable options using buses and trains to get around. I mean, there's trains that run all through Europe. So, it's expensive to get over to Europe in the first place, but while you're there, it's definitely worth an additional 100, 200 bucks to be able to, travel around and see as much of Europe as you can while you're there.